Aries, hello, my darlings. Welcome to your weekly reading, a slightly different version of the weekly readings going forward. I'm going to keep them very short and simple. We're going to focus on a key word for you using the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Key word for you to think about this week if this reading resonates with you. Then we're going to be using my Veritas Oracle to give you a key message in relation to that keyword, following with some key spiritual advice in relation to the messages using the guardian angel messages. And the reason something's key is because it is the key to opening something, to opening up further growth, opportunity, dreams, change for you. So what is the key this week for you? Let's look to see. What is it key for you to focus on this week? What's the key word, please? Thank you for Aries, for those that most need to hear it. Thank you, Spirit. The key word for Aries. Patience. Now, who else had this? I'm trying to think who else had this. Patience has come out for you. And yeah, I can hear you groan and moan. But do you know something extraordinary? When we create, nature doesn't know what the word patient or impatient is, does it? It doesn't recognize it. It's like nature doesn't have a subconscious per se. We've created that subconscious within us. We've created impatience within us. We create the suffering that comes with feeling impatient. Nature exists. Anything natural happens within a beautiful divine order, divine arrangement. That is the universe, that is the cosmos. And we are as much a part of that as nature is. But we've forgotten that in the separation, in the illusion that we are not it. We are not life force energy. Well, why would we be anything different from everything else on this earth? So when you look at a plant, when you look at anything in nature, you don't feel impatient. You don't feel anything other than radical acceptance. And that's what the universe is asking you to consider. Just consider accepting that there is a little bit of a wait at this time, because there is a perfect plan. There is a divine plan. There is a completion of a cycle. And sometimes in the completion of something, we're like, oh, okay, right. Come on then, what's coming in now? But it may not be quite the time. So whilst you can't see clearly at this moment in time, perhaps the way forward, trust that the way forward will be shown to you. Do you see that it's foggy in this card here? The way forward will emerge. The truth will emerge. Assistance will emerge. This is the heron. You are taking flight. It's doing it. The heron doesn't almost teach itself to fly. It flies because it is the inherently part of its blueprint. So wherever you are or have been in the non-seeing of where you're going, being taken, being guided, that is where you're meant to be. So there is something in flight. There is something in motion. But you're launching yourself into it at this time. And the heron is making a journey. So there might be, Spirit is saying, just trust the natural order of things. And as things are a little unclear, not crystal clear, don't rush ahead, because then in the fog, in the cloudiness, you might, through making rush decisions and choices, you might veer off the path of where you are focusing your overall intuitive intention. Just like the heron rising up, it intuitively knows where to fly to, perhaps in a migration of. So wherever you're migrating to, trust how you're feeling. Try to listen to perhaps negative thoughts happening within you as something that is just causing more cloudy perception, and just trust that actually, although you can't see yet, you're not meant to, because there's something that's going to evolve, is going to emerge through this. So let's have a look to see with my Veritas Oracle with patience, what is accompanying this card? Thank you, Spirit, for Aries. What is accompanying the patience card? Journey. I love Spirit so much. Look at this. Patience and journey. There is no rush. You are exactly where you are intended to be within your divine design. So you've come a long way. Have respect for the journey that you've taken so far. You may have felt that you've come to a pause. You're not knowing the way forward. And Spirit is saying, don't rush forward because something's going to come towards you. You are, and you always have, kind of led the way. And you'll know what I mean by that. Others feel encouraged by you, supported by you, looked after by you. You've always sort of led the way. And you've done so in a way that is very much inherent, the blueprint within you. It's you as a leader, you as a guide. But if you rush forward now, I do apologize. If you rush forward now, you might miss that path of least resistance that's up ahead. And Spirit is saying there is no rush. It's not ever about, bear with me just one second. My little nut barking. So you're being asked to have active faith in your soul, the universe's, God's perfect plan for you. And that actually the way ahead is it's not an uphill struggle anymore. You've done that. You've now got this sort of open way ahead. And can you see that there is a giraffe here? And then the giraffe, it's been a bit of a journey because the giraffe travels quite a long way to move from one of the trees it feeds off to another. And you may have felt pushed along this path a little bit because the giraffe is pushed away from these trees because they emit a scent that encourages the giraffe to move on. But this is part of your spiritual journey. And the spiritual journey is not about where you're going. It's about the recognition of who you are every step of the way and the evolution of your understanding and remembrance of who you are and why you're here and what you intend to do about it. And you are a very powerful spiritual being. And you recognize this in the words that I'm saying to you. People listen to you. People follow you. People respect you. Where you go, others will follow. Now, whether this is within family, friends, or whatever relationships it is, this is resounding with you. But you're being asked to understand that everything is happening for a reason. Now, the affirmation for you is, I stand still in present acceptance and shall look to follow the path of least resistance. So there you are, journey and patience. There is no rush, no rush. Coming back to nature in us, it is the ego within us, the identity within us that feels the rush, that feels the need, that feels that we have to achieve, we have to accomplish, we have to show value to ourselves by knowing this and learning this and expanding on this. No, none of it actually matters. It's about feeling the powerful presence of simply being a spiritual being and understanding that there is no rush. It's all evolving according to a beautiful, divinely orchestrated plan. And you are much further than you might think in that. You're leading yourself on this journey, despite what you may be feeling. So let's see with the guardian angel messages for you. Thank you. Regarding patience and journey. I mean, goodness me, patience again. You may be laughing at this point, but here you have the hangman. Pause, perspective, selflessness, patience. 12, awakening, new beginnings, making balanced choices and understanding that there's a time and a place for everything, and everything will be in its perfect place for you. In the awakening, there is a sort of suddenly, and in this hangman energy, there is suddenly an awareness of a different way of thinking, a different way of looking at life, of seeing things from completely a different point of view that is completely the opposite of what you've thought before. that awakening isn't something that happens overnight. It takes time to assimilate, to absorb into our senses, for us to make sense of it, for us to reflect on it, for us to it's like a mix of ingredients to make the perfect cake. It takes time to rise. We take time to rise into that awareness. Don't be in a rush. Don't feel that you're doing yourself a disservice by not, by not being able to read everything there is to read, or feeling that you have to know this, and they're doing this and they're doing this, but I'm only doing this. Do what feels right for you. There's no rush. There's no right or wrong way. All of it lies within you anyway. So you're receiving all of the insights that you need. But this is a really interesting card for you. And selflessness is a really interesting message here, because we've been taught that to be selfless is amazing. And yes, it is, to think of others first. But you have to think of self is as well, because how can you be selfless if you haven't questioned what self is first? And therefore, with what energy are you being selfless? And do you feel less for it or more for it? Are you unconditionally full because of your understanding of yourself? Or are you feeling depleted because you're being selfless? And I feel this is part of this awakening process for you. So there we are. There is no rush. You are leading. You're guiding yourself. You're being a leader for others. Just be that energy. Step into that energy. Take a break. Take a rest. This is a big change for you. This is an awakening. You may have been asleep for a long time, and suddenly when you awake, it's all really rather amazing and scaring and terrifying and awesome all at the same time. So day by day, my darling, day by day, and you will be shown, as you've been shown already, the next part of that path for you of least resistance. But be patient, be patient. So much love, and I look forward to doing another reading for you next week. In the meantime, take care and have a great rest of the week. Lots of love. Bye bye.